The dripping continues. It's like a death of 1,000 cuts, because every time one of these former pages decides to call in somebody in the news business or one of the members of Congress, it's another story.
That's Chris Matthews this morning on the Today Show, referring to what is still one of the most talked about and most emailed newspaper stories across the country, the Mark Foley internet message scandal, its impact on the Republican Party. Now, some of the discussion is focused on whether the controversy will keep evangelical Republican voters away from the polls next month. But according to a headline at today's New York Times, evangelicals blame Foley, not Republican Party. After interviewing dozens of Christians in Virginia, the reporter found Mark Foley does not appear to have affected evangelical support for the GOP, at least not in that state, saying, quote, most of the evangelical Christians interviewed said that so far they saw Mr. Foley's behavior as a matter of personal morality, not institutional dysfunction. Yet some Christian conservatives are taking this opportunity to voice their own views on homosexuality. At the San Francisco Chronicle, Foley incident stirs up a stereotype about gay men. Now, the article points to some prominent conservative leaders who've reacted to the Foley scandal by suggesting homosexuals are more likely to molest children. The reporter quotes Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council, who wrote in an email to his supporters last week, saying, quote, neither party seems likely to address the real issue, which is the link between homosexuality and child sex abuse. With Christian conservatives out there voicing such controversial views on homosexuality, check out this headline at the New York Times. Foley case upsets balance of gay Republicans. According to this article, many gay Republicans in Washington say they now feel as though they're under siege as a result of the Mark Foley scandal. And they're afraid this could seriously derail what the reporter calls, quote, the growing tolerance for gay men and lesbians within the Republican ranks. This often discreet but influential group of gay Washington insiders includes the top staffers of several conservative lawmakers. Patrick Sammon is executive vice president of the Log Cabin Republicans, a 20,000-member national group of gay and lesbian Republicans. Patrick, what's your reaction to some of the extreme comments on homosexuality from Christian conservative groups like the Family Research Council? Is sexual orientation an issue in this scandal?
The sexual orientation is completely irrelevant in this scandal. Mark Foley's behavior was despicable and unethical, and if he broke the law, he should be prosecuted. But his sexual orientation is completely irrelevant. And these anti-gay groups who are trying to score political points with this issue should be ashamed of themselves for spreading stereotypes that they know are false. They seem to be more interested in spreading their anti-gay agenda than actually figuring out what happened in this case, and they should be ashamed.
Now, Patrick, I know you've been speaking out in recent days, and I read that you were quoted saying that the Republican Party must be more inclusive if it wants to be a party of the majority.
Well, the fact of the matter is there are hundreds of thousands of gay and lesbian Americans who work hard every day, pay their taxes, are part of their community, and they're good and loyal Republicans because they don't believe government is the solution to every problem. They believe in a strong response to the war on terror. They support the war in Iraq. They believe in limited government, low taxes, limited regulation. And those people are good and loyal Republicans. And they are, in the Republican Party, there can be a place for them in the Republican Party. And I think that the party will become more inclusive in the future because overwhelmingly the vast majority of the American people know gay people, they're friends with gay people, they work with gay people, and that they understand that gay people should be treated with basic fairness and equality. And I think in the years ahead, the Republican Party risks being on the wrong side of history if they aren't becoming more inclusive on gay and lesbian issues.
Now, going back to the specifics of the Foley scandal, there are some conservative bloggers out there who are saying that gay Republican staffers who investigated the Foley case were attempting to hide misconduct by one of their own. What's your response to that?
Well, it's really shameful that some people are trying to use sexual orientation as a factor in this situation. It simply had nothing to do with what went on. Some people are trying to use this situation to advance an anti-gay agenda, and they should be ashamed.
Ultimately, Patrick, are you concerned, as has been reported, that some conservatives will play to the base here, attempting to push homosexuals out of the party?
Well, the fact of the matter is that the extreme anti-gay groups are going to continue trying to push their divisive agenda. But for the Republicans to win, they need to focus on issues that are most relevant in people's lives. The economy, the war on terror, taxes, healthcare, education, those things that really are key when people are making up their mind about who to vote for. And I think as Election Day approaches, the voters will become more focused on those issues, and I think the Republican Party will as well.
Patrick Sammon, Executive Vice President of the Log Cabin Republicans. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much.
Still ahead.